The piece is titled La Forêt Bleue, and it is a multi-screen rear projection system meant to be viewed by people who just basically happen upon it as they're walking down the street or are in the neighborhood. It's composed, so as I said, of 3 screens, the first of which is a forest scene, almost seen as though it is in night vision mode, with a river running through the foreground of it, just to give a sense of movement. And in that same spot of the screen, there's a little Kinect camera, which is used for gaming, Xbox gaming. And when someone approaches that window, they find themselves captured by the camera and transported into that kind of mythological forest image. Well, first off, the body itself becomes a ghostly, sort of semi-transparent apparition, which is kind of a bit impressionistic depending on how well the system is working and the kind of ambient light in the area. And you find that you grow antlers and a kind of dragon-like tail, if you will, that kind of coils out and is this kind of crazy fluid thing. So immediately, you understand you've become some avatar of some kind entering this forest scene. You become an animal, really, losing your kind of identity in the process. And from there, after a certain amount of time in the forest, you, in a way, kind of die off, and your little avatar is transported to the second screen. You are transported to a star field or a constellation, which is actually a kind of programmatically very synthetic version of a star field, which is composed of all the points, which are composed of points of light that are directly related to all of the people who have ever stood before the system, or all those who have ever entered the forest. So it becomes this kind of archive which is quite dense and deep time in a way. It will hopefully keep them indefinitely, well, certainly throughout individual screenings, but also in a deeper sense as well. Well, I guess another easy way to speak about it is the way we look to the heavens for some kind of validation of permanence or something, that they have been there forever, that they predate us. It's been a long-standing sort of screen for our projection of notions, or rather notions of how to make sense of essentially how the world works and our place within it. On the third screen, it's really just a kind of nod towards what is happening in this entire system. So it's in the background of the image itself is a old stock footage of US Army training, basically a kind of visual manual on how the operation of gears work. The kind of mechanistic structure of how things are put together and they drive other things, so really gearboxes and gears. And then overlaid on that is another little kind of 4 screens which are running basically a real-time representation of the back end of what's happening in terms of the system. So it's almost like it's putting the code on display. So you get a sense of some kind of control mechanism, certainly as a metaphor, but also as a kind of reality as well. And so the entire system functions like this in a kind of rudimentary way as almost a life cycle.